you doing? Didn't really prematurely plan this one, but I had to get on here. First of all, happy Memorial Day weekend to everybody out there watching. I guess if you only in the States, right? More importantly, I'm realizing I saw a video recently. I think it came out, I don't know, within the last 2 days. It's Joe Rogan talking about a study on the cough medications, if you know what I'm saying, if you can follow. I gotta speak in code because I think YouTube is still in their stuff with this topic. It said that 470,000 to 600,000 people died from the medication. Now, I just want to get on here and say, I think one of the greatest things I've ever done is not take that damn medication. I don't know, when you start paying people $200 to take medication, when McDonald's is giving free food because you took the medication, you know, when you're forced to do something, you know what I mean? Like, there was just so much, like, nah, I'm not doing that. And I for the life of me, I don't know why. I remember when I was in 3rd grade, I had a teacher, Miss Vaccaro. If you out there, I still remember you. What's up? She told me that no matter what, once something gets into your body, those antibodies never leave your system. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. I don't know why I remembered it. I don't know why it was something that I gravitated towards, but I definitely remember that. And then here we come, damn near 20 years later, with this stuff, well, probably 30 years later at this point, with this information, and they saying it only lasts up to 6 months or something like that. I was like, yo, I remember in 3rd grade, that's not what they said. So I had to really, like, you know, really think to myself, like, something here is wrong. So, shout outs to Brooklyn, by the way. We're in the heart of Atlantic, Brooklyn right here. We're in Atlantic. Alright. But anyway. Yeah, so I'm like, hold up, wait a minute. Something ain't right. You know what I mean? And then I personally did something myself. So I was like, okay. I went to Texas February 2020. Right? I remember watching this thing on like one of these C-SPAN reports where this guy was going crazy, talking about, yo, not telling us what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And this was like January 20th, 2020. And he was talking about that side of the world. If you know what I'm following, I gotta speak in code because I don't want this to trigger the algorithm at all. So then, when I went to Texas, when I flew back on the 21st, I believe. I left on the 14th or the 15th or something like that, came back on the 21st. I have never, ever gotten that sick in my life. I'm a believer that it exists. I want to be clear about that. I'm a believer that it exists. I've never gotten that sick in my life. Like, I couldn't breathe. Like, that was the worst. So in my head, I didn't know it at the time because the world didn't shut down till a month later, literally on March 2nd. So I was just like, damn, this is crazy. Not knowing this is possibly that, right? The world shut down. It didn't hit me until later on that it might be that. But again, I didn't think anything of it. Somebody just got caught. So then I'm hearing all the news that all of a sudden antibodies leave your system in 6 months and all this stuff. And I'm like, nah, that ain't right. So when they started to first put out the fact that you can test to see if you have the antibodies, I did that in November in November 2020. They said I was positive, meaning I got the antibodies. But how could I be positive with the antibodies if I got it, and that was in February? February to November is 9 months. So I'm like, well, this clearly ain't right. Either I got it again and I didn't know about it, or it stays in your body a lot longer than the 6 months they're saying. And then they went from 3 months, then they said it's a year, it varies. Whatever. Because they wanted to move the sliding scale so it could fit their narrative, but I digress. Let's continue. Then I remember getting ready to go to El Salvador, and you had to get checked before you can go on the plane. Mind you, I didn't get not one of these medications. So I was trying to see if I could travel and stuff like that without taking the medication. You can. You just had to have a negative test result to get on the plane within 2 days or something like that of getting on the plane. So I got it. It said I was positive for the antibodies, but I was negative on having it. So I was able to go on the plane. Mind you, I did that in June. So now from November to June is 7 months? And I still had the antibodies. So again, either I caught it again and didn't know about it, or it stays longer in your system. Even if it was a year from the first time I know I had gotten something, it was February 2020. I was now flying out June 2021. So that's telling me, okay, there's another situation here that doesn't line up, because now this is a year and 2 months, or a year and 4 months, or some shit like that. So either I got it again twice, or I didn't know about the second one. Who knows? Or something's wrong with their narrative. And then I believe I went to Costa Rica in September of that year, 2021. And again, you had to follow the same procedure. Once again, I have the antibodies, but I didn't have the actual thing. Then again, that's another July, August, September, that's another 3 months. So at least at this point, I would have to have gotten it, if on a 6 month scale, 2 times without me knowing, or 3 or 4 times without me knowing, or on the scale that they have, it would have to be, I don't know, 2 times if it's a year scale. So like, I don't know. And around this time, that's when they started doing the antigens instead of the antibodies. Where they got that one from, I don't know, but whatever. So then we did, then I went to El Salvador again in November, early November. Once again, same results. I still got the antibodies, but I don't have it. So from November 2021 to November 2020, I had gotten tested for my antibodies. Well, the last one was antigens. You couldn't do the antibodies anymore. 3 times. 4 times, actually. And I know for a fact I got something February 2020. So it just didn't make sense. I want you to check out that podcast with Joe Rogan, where he gives the study. It's from MIT. It's a legit study from Florida. I guess MIT has like a Florida satellite district section, or whatever the case may be. So check that out. But they're saying 470,000 to 600,000 people have died from the medication. My name is, I am the Canvas Nomad. I identify as a critical thinker, and my pronouns is told you and so. It just is what it is. But I digress. I just needed to put that out there. Put that out there in the ethos, because I'm telling you, something was not right about that whole situation. And they know that something wasn't right about the situation, the way that it was handled. The fact that people were buying it up is beyond me. But hey, this is the world we live in. It's your boy Chris Jack, Canvas Nomad here. We in the heart of Brooklyn. Atlantic right down there. Sorry. It's the other way. It's not facing you. And yeah, if you made it this far in the video, you're my friend. I certainly appreciate it.